So Separate Ways is releasing in a day's time, 21st of September. We're all looking forward to it. I won't be able to pick up a copy of it until Friday. That's when I get paid, but I will be, and I'll be playing through it and then giving you guys, a little review on it. Absolutely love Resident Evil 4 remake. I thought it was one of the better remakes. Definitely, I think up there with the remake 2. Some parts of it I think are better than the remake 2, and a lot of other parts in RE remake 2 I thought were better than RE4 remake. But all in all, I hold those two as quite good remakes. They don't touch the original game's remake, but they're a lot of fun nonetheless. So during these two trailers that sort of just popped up out of nowhere, to be honest with you, it had been quite quiet when it came to the Separate Ways DLC that was coming, and they just popped up, which is something I think a lot of video game companies are doing at the moment when they're like releasing games like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and the other one that Mikami did for the Xbox. When they're releasing these games, they're just sort of coming out. Metroid Prime Remaster, that came out, nobody really even knew much about it, or at least I didn't anyway, and they just sort of released them, and I think they're doing a similar thing with the Separate Ways DLC. So if we break down the two trailers, from what I can remember this off the top of my head, if we break down the two trailers, the first one sort of just shows you like Luis plays a more prominent role in it. We get a look at the laser grid. I think that was in the first trailer. I could be getting them misconstrued and confused, but yeah, we get to see the laser room, which is obviously a segment of the original Resident Evil 4, and they've now repurposed it for this DLC. We get to, because both the trailers kind of blend into each other. One was released one day, and then the next day we got another one. So from what I could take away from it, laser room. Now it's Ada's sort of segment. It's a segment in Separate Ways. That's cool. I understand it. It makes more sense because she's a spy, laser room spies. It all goes together, right? Laser spies, etc., etc. It's a very Mission Impossible sort of thing, right?
The laser room reminded me of the one from the Resident Evil film.
But yeah, it looked cool. It looked fine. It's, some people think it's ridiculous. Some people think it's loads of fun. I lean towards it's a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy that bit. It's just this cool little moment within the game, and it leaves a lasting memory. And I think that to then repurpose it for Ada, I think that's fine. I don't mind it. This is the thing. The stuff that they've removed pissed me off at first, because it's like, why did you cut the content? You didn't need to. But they kind of added in content within Resident Evil 4 Remake that made up for it, or sort of made up for it. I mean, we have this whole area that we get to go and just explore like it's a mini open world, and I thought that was really cool. After the Del Lago sort of boss fight, I thought that was brilliant. I really love those moments. So there's stuff that's really good. I love exploration as well in games, so to be able to then just go off the beaten path, because the game's fairly linear up to that bit, and it was just good. They added in things
and removed things that were going to get repurposed for this DLC. Things that piqued my interest during the two trailers were, of course, let's cut straight to it, the inclusion of Wesker, the inclusion of Albert Wesker, only seen sort of as a teaser at the end of Resident Evil 4 Remake. In this one, he's going to be a lot more prominent, definitely, and it looks to me like him and Ada are going to face off at the end. We'll get to that a little bit later, but yeah. His voice actor. First I want to talk about Ada's voice actor, Lily Gao, Wesker's new voice actor. They both sound, to me, quite wooden, to be honest with you. Wesker's quite a stoic, character anyway. He's, he's a bad guy, but he's quite stoic. There's been moments within the series where he's been very extravagant and, evil, mustache twiddling type of villain, but it's always been a great performance from DC Douglas and whoever else. I think with this one, they're trying to, as a character, they're trying to just humanise him a bit, bring him back to that character that we see in the Resident Evil Remake or Resident Evil Director's Cut. More so Resident Evil Director's Cut, because his style of voice kind of reminds me of, just the more American, no real accent type of Wesker from Director's Cut. So yeah, overall, Lily Gao is still bland. I think she's a little bit better from what I've heard from the trailers than she was in the remake of 4 in the base game. but still very bland performance from her. And the guy who's doing Wesker, he's just playing it very straight. So I mean, it's cool, you know, but they're very bland, those two voice actors. I would liken it to Megan Fox's portrayal of Natara recently, which was fucking god awful. It was horrible performance. We all thought that Ronda Rousey was gonna fuck up Sonya Blade in MK11. Instead, she actually did an alright job. Compared to her, Megan Fox, the fact that Megan Fox has had more acting credits, she's a proper actress, it's terrible. You get someone like Kelly Hu though, voicing Lei Mei, who's amazing in that, and she's a great voiceover actor, and she nails it with Lei Mei, or Li Mei, and Madame Bo as well. She's Madame Bo, so yeah, great performance. It goes to show you that it doesn't matter. Like some of these actors and stuff, they don't just phone in the performance. Ray Liotta gave it his all when it came to GTA Vice City. Tons and tons of actors have, you know, sort of voiced characters and really smashed it. But yeah, when it comes to these two, Lily Gao and whoever's voicing Wesker, I haven't really looked it up yet. Not the best performances, let's just say that. While I'm sticking with Ada and Wesker, in the second trailer, you do see them facing off against each other. Now, the leaks, the early leaks, before everything went crazy and there was loads of bullshit coming out and, you know, fake leaks and things like that, but the early days, a couple leaks. And one leak suggested that Wesker and Leon would face off in a boss battle, a bit like how Krauser and Wesker faced off. I think that they've changed that and now it's Ada versus Wesker, and that's cool. So that's really cool because they've got more of a connection. So I like that. How Ada goes from the helicopter at the end of RE4, spoilers, but sorry, I'm going to talk about it. At the end of RE4, she decides I'm not going to give Wesker the amber, so she's on the helicopter, holds the gun to the pilot, you know, like fly me here sort of thing. Do as I say, you won't get shot in the head. So she's escaping with the amber, right? But then now the scene shows her and Wesker facing off against each other, and also during those trailers she's on a jet ski escaping. So I don't know what's going on there. So maybe it's taking place before, where she teams up with Louise. There's a lot of like, you know, partner gameplay. There's a few moments where she's teamed up with Louise and she's fighting Plagas and Ganados. And then obviously there's also a part where you see Louise has a tracking device on his back, and then he gets hoisted up by this rope, this trap. I'm guessing it's a Ganado trap, you know. So yeah, like then Ada says something like, "Oh, you know, sorry Louise, but I've got stuff to do," or something like that. And then she carries on with her mission and says something like, "I've got to keep the client happy." Now, basically, Wesker's still advising her and telling her what to do, like in the original Separate Ways. The only difference is that we might actually see him in person in this one, because he'll face off against Ada. So I really don't know, but that image is very static, and I don't know whether that's mercenaries or it's a promotional like still, or if it's actually something that happens during the game. I'm guessing it does. I really don't know. So all that stuff I can't really speak on, because I won't know until I've played the campaign through. But yeah, it does seem to me like somehow the helicopter, I don't know, crashed, and then she had to escape a different way, you know, and she bumps into Wesker. I really don't know. I don't know if it takes place somewhere else. I doubt that would kind of happen, because it would only be relegated to a cutscene. Yeah, and it would still mean that they have to like create, you know, a new area and level for those two to fight in, if it took place sort of outside of the island parts and village parts. So I don't know what's going on with that, but it's interesting. It has me intrigued. It was originally, I think, Leon facing off against Wesker, but they repurposed it for the DLC, and now we've got Ada doing that. Yeah, there's also, okay, so going back to the parts that they've repurposed for this DLC, the parts on the gondolas, that's now in this campaign. So you see her shooting, you know, Ganados off the gondolas, like. So yeah, that's been repurposed for this. It's quite interesting. The gondola part, I don't know. I never really, you know, I was just, it is what it is. But still, it still added to the game. It was just part of what made Resident Evil 4 the original. Let's be straight. I don't think that this game is as impactful as the original Resident Evil 4 was. I don't think it's as iconic as the original Resident Evil 4, and I don't think it's a massive game changer compared to that original game. But it's because that game is of its time. You know, it was lightning in a bottle, something incredible and amazing for its time, and the remake does do a good job at remaking a classic game like that. The same could be said for films that have come out and they've tried to remake it, and you know, like the Evil Dead remake, is it as good as the original? I don't know, but no one can deny that that original was way more shocking and, you know, just caused a stir and controversy and stuff than that remake. By then everybody had gotten used to it. Same with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. You know, for us kids who grew up with Jurassic Park, it was incredible to see something like that. And then when Jurassic World came out, it was a great sort of sequel to it, but it still didn't have that impact. And I feel the same with, you know, like the original Gears trilogy compared to the newer games, or the original Halos, or, you know, when it comes to Resident Evil 4, it was impactful and incredible for the time when it came out, and it was something fresh, something new, and just, yeah, it was a game changer, like I said. But with the remake, it just acts as a complementary piece and a great remake, you know, updated version of Resident Evil 4. So it just complements that original. You can play the original still, you can play the remake, whichever one, but it never steps on the original's toes, unlike the RE3 remake did. And also, to an extent, the RE2 remake was vastly different from the original. So, but I didn't mind that because you had completely separate, you know, experiences and games to play through. So I was alright with that. But yeah, so you got the gondola segment in this game. I'm trying to think of other things. And the second Verdugo chases Ada, which had been hinted at. People had said like the Verdugo will come after Ada. Will it transform into the U3 boss fight? I have no idea. It does start to mutate. She says, I've got to deal with this, you know, got to deal with this thing, because it will just stalk and track her. Will it become something else? Will it be a mixture of the U3 and something else? I think that's what they might be aiming for, might be going for, because they kind of did that in the RE3 remake with the Hunter Gammas and the Gravedigger. So they kind of spliced and combined them together. So yeah, maybe they're going to do something similar to that. Are we going to get a battle with it sort of in the same location, stuff like that? I really don't know. Like, I don't know how it's going to go down. A lot of people don't like that part of the game, that boss fight. I don't mind it, and a lot of people that are subscribers or just friends that I have on YouTube and Twitter agree with me that they love it. Like, and I love it as well. I think it's great. It's a great moment. But there's some people that really, really hate it. So we're just going to see how that transpires, like when it comes to playing the game, and what Capcom have done with that. Another thing that's been added is Ada gets infected in this, and I think it's Capcom, because recently they said someone asked them, how come these characters, all the female characters and stuff, how come they just haven't aged today? And Capcom said it was because every female character's been infected with a virus, and then they've survived infection, but it's keeping them youthful, which makes me think that Capcom are doing it so that they can keep the female characters all youthful. And I think Ada's now the next one to receive that treatment, and it is ridiculous. It's basically to just appease horny teenage boys, or even, you know, gamers that are like adult and they just can't get enough of their waifu, like Jill Valentine or, you know, Ada Wong, whoever. But obviously I love Jill Valentine, you know, but still I don't like fantasize about a video game character. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I don't know why Capcom are doing it, but it's obviously, you know, it's obviously sex appeal. That's the thing. So that's why they're doing that. It might not be the reason, though. To be honest with you, it might not be the reason. There might be a genuine. One other reason is that she gets infected so that she can stand toe to toe with Wesker, because obviously he's he's like superhuman. So yeah, that's interesting. And there was a few little bits here and there that I got to see. No Krauser, so I don't think Krauser is in her campaign. I think he's dead. That's it. When he dies in Leon's, that's it. He's dead. But yeah, we get to see like Ada and Wesker standing off, and it looks like it's on this platform in the middle of the sea, because I saw this netting and this other stuff, and I have a feeling that it's that level that's not in the base game of the original Resident Evil 4. It's a mercenaries level. It's my favourite level, and it's just this raft, this huge platform out at sea, and I think maybe they've incorporated that into the main game, so it's pretty sick. So yeah, I can't wait for that. How she goes from the helicopter to the jet ski, she's riding a jet ski at one point, to then that platform, I have no clue. I don't know. All I can think of is that the helicopter crashes, and then she finds alternate means of transport, and then gets to that platform and he's waiting for her, or gives her the coordinates and he's there. So yeah, it's interesting, but I hope that's on the money, because I'd like to see that particular level incorporated into the DLC campaign. So yeah, that's really cool. And then there's a few little other things, like she's in this area that's like a lab, and it's got this strobe, like red strobe light, so it's definitely like a complex, like a lab complex of some kind, and then all you see is this hand sort of just grip the door. So whether that's U3 or not, who knows. There's a bit where she's fighting for Dooku at one point, and yeah, and that's all we get, but he's still robed, so I don't know whether he's going to transform into U3 or what's going to happen, so I have no clue. But again, I hope it's similar to, dropping the platforms and stuff, so you can kill U3, and then of course Leon like leaps onto that chain and survives. But yeah, I hope it's something similar to that, because I did like that whole segment, that whole level. U3 as a boss fight, I liked it, and quite a lot of other people I speak to liked it as well. So yeah, all in all, some that was a great trailer, like really good teaser, and then a really good sort of release trailer. Loads going on, like Luis and Ada working together, and it looks like it's going to have a little bit more comedic moments spliced in between. We're going to get to see if Verdugo does actually transform into U3, what that boss fight is going to be like. We get the laser room, we get the gondolas, all the stuff that people missed from the remake of 4. We're getting, in this campaign, we get a face-off with Ada and Wesker, more backstory, more story to do with this new Wesker, this Wesker for this particular timeline, and this canon, this series of games. So I'm quite excited. And then the prospect of what Resident Evil 5 remake is going to be like is exciting as well, and quite interesting. So yeah, all in all, it's a good trailer. It's got me hyped. It's got me wanting to play the DLC when it drops. Unfortunately, I'll be playing it on Friday, maybe over the weekend, because I'm not getting paid till Friday. So, but I will 100% give you guys my review of that, because it just looks really, really good. Combat wise, like I said earlier, pretty sick. I'm pretty happy with it. The fact she can use her hook shot to grapple onto enemies and then just swing over there and punch them directly in the face. I like that. That's really cool. So, will she meet Leon or Ashley? Probably not. She doesn't really meet Ashley, does she? If I remember right. But yeah. So, all in all, pretty cool. I liked it. Going forward with the channel, this is just a few closing credits. So for any of you that don't care about this, you just wanted to hear my thoughts on the DLC, then you can go ahead and skip this. But for my returning subscribers and anyone that does want to listen, I haven't quit YouTube, I haven't stopped YouTube, but at the moment, with work, life, family life, just doing other things, wanting to go to college at some point again, and music, I'm back on my music, so that's a lot, to just juggle. And unfortunately with YouTube and just Google and the algorithm and all that stuff, it's just not new content creator friendly, let's just say that. And that means that all the breakdown videos, or just uploading constant let's plays, or just all this stuff that a million other people are doing, it doesn't interest me anymore. That's the problem. Unless it's something truly special, like the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater remake coming out, or this DLC, or maybe a new Resident Evil game, it still piques my interest, or just something that I'm really interested in, Shenmue 4, things like that. So other than that, I feel like I should create content that was very much like my history of Stars video, because a lot of people seem to love that, and that's great. Massive thank you and love goes out to you guys who have viewed the video and liked it and commented, down below and stuff, and just started a discussion. That's always what I wanted for this channel, is just to meet other people that had interests and liked the games I like, and just or introduce me to other types of games. And I feel like that's happened through having this channel. I've gone out of my wheelhouse and I've experienced all these other different games and looked at games differently, like Phantom Pain, because of some things that people have said, and hey, there's this and there's that, and I've looked at it and it's really it's weird. It's kind of helped me just like come out of my comfort zone and play some games that normally maybe I wouldn't have touched before. You know, like I probably would have never played Symphony of the Night, and then someone was like, "You need to play that game," and other people said, "You need to play System Shock 2." You know, these are games, they're amazing. You've got to play it at least once. So, yeah, it's just that's always what I wanted for the channel. But I lost interest doing the breakdown videos and doing, you know, just all that other stuff, like just that quick content. I know people just want to hear my thoughts and opinions. At the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to. But I had so much fun making that History of Stars video, and I was going to continue it, and I never got round to it. And I felt that rather than just create loads and loads and loads of content like all the time, because they don't get that many views anyway, just because the algorithm is just, you know, it's working the way it works. So I thought, well, why not just create a video and put all your love into it and your time, like you did with the History of Stars video and some other videos that I've done here and there. And I'm not saying I don't put love and passion into my other videos, because I do. You can hear it in my voice if I'm talking about it. But it's just that those are things that I want to talk about, and I'm like, oh, I use YouTube as a platform to talk about it. But at the same time, everybody does it. Like, there's loads of Resident Evil channels just doing exactly what I'm doing, or have been for ages, and I just sort of jumped in there. Or there's loads of Metal Gear channels, or there's tons of channels that do that. But when I created the History of Stars video, or my reviews, things like that, it was my passion and stuff, and being able to edit the video and just be creative and be truly artistic with it. And I think that's what I'm going to do going forward. It's all about quality over quantity. That's the thing. So rather than, you know, create like 5 videos that go out when something pops, you know, oh, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater is coming out and this is happening, I've got to look at it differently. Instead of jumping on there and going, oh, this would be great to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. Fine, but I know really the algorithm isn't going to favour that content, because 150 people have already got in there first. So I have to remember why I started YouTube, and that was when I was doing my reviews and stuff. That was to like show my love and appreciation for older games, you know, retro games and current generation games. And I really had fun making those reviews, and they haven't gained attention until sort of now. You know, it's not until I did the Tekken 4 review where that gained attention. But then I could hear issues with like the audio and stuff, which has got a lot better. So yeah, I've progressed over time as well. I've you know, got better at YouTube videos and editing and the rest of it. I'm more like a music man, to be honest. So you know, all that stuff is more my wheelhouse. But editing videos and things like that, I did work as a cameraman, and I did edit videos back in the day for a job. So this is just that, but more fun. I'm editing things that are enjoyable to me, that interest me, and that I have a passion for. But I think that the history of the stars, it was supposed to be part of a longer series, and I was gonna, you know, continue that. But then everything sort of just, you know how it is, especially on YouTube and just in terms of the gaming space, it just went crazy. There was like rumours of the Metal Gear remake, or there was Resident Evil 2 remake coming out, or there was this game or that game, or you know, and so it just, yeah, I just sort of was jumping on that. But I'm going to go back to doing reviews of games now that I've got a bigger subscriber base, and you know, like just people that come to the channel. I'm going to go back to doing game reviews and reviewing games, because that's what I started off doing, and I absolutely loved that. You know, it was great, and the history is going to be my main thing, the thing that I want people to come back to my channel and enjoy that content. So I'm going to do a history of like Wesker, and you know, not just the stars. The stars was the start of it. Why I started with that, I can't remember, but yeah, I'm going to do a history of Wesker, history of Umbrella, you know, a history of the Plagas, just all this lore and this stuff that I know I'm going to enjoy creating a video around and basing it on that. So that's going to be the series that I go forward with. But the thing is, with that sort of content, it takes a lot more time, so the videos aren't going to be coming, you know, as fast. That's the thing. Pause. they're not going to be coming out as fast as maybe breaking down a trailer or covering, you know, a leak or something like that. I'll still do that content. That content will still be there. Like, I'll still do that, but just not to the extreme that I've done it before. You know, where it's just been like a video every day, or then it was like 3 videos a week, stuff like that. The algorithm just fucks us smaller content creators over big time, and it's pointless putting even that small amount of effort into something like that, especially when there's 101 people doing the same thing, you know, and especially covering Resident Evil. There's channels dedicated to just Resident Evil, which my channel isn't dedicated to just Resident Evil, you know, and I don't think it ever would be. But that is my favourite series of all time, and I love all that old lore and stuff. So yeah, I mean, history of the Patriots, I can do Metal Gear sort of takes on it, and the history of the Hunter from Bloodborne and things like that. It's great. So things I'm playing at the moment, which I'm enjoying, like are Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm having fun playing that. I'm going to play Assassin's Creed Syndicate next, which I'm looking forward to, and then I'm going to probably download the DLC on Friday for Separate Ways and get through that, get stuck into that. But yeah, overall, I'm sort of in between making music, working. I'm playing my PlayStation as well, and I'm looking to get like an Xbox One, because I've got a shit ton of, you know, original Xbox 360 games that I bought for like £1 in CEX, so I can't wait to get that because it's backwards compatible and I can play them on there. So I'm getting that around Christmas, and I might do something with that. I might do a video around that, so yeah, keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing a history of series and maybe some video game reviews as well. But I think I might wait until my subscribers grow a little bit more, until I do the reviews, once I've got people actually wanting to come back to the channel all the time. And for the rest of you that return, you know, I've got nothing but love for you guys. Thank you for supporting. But yeah, I'm going to just wait on that a little bit. But I think when it comes to the history of, I'm going to definitely get started on one of those very, very soon. So bear with me. It's going to take a little bit longer than, say, me just getting a 2 or 5 minute video out breaking down a trailer, but it's going to be worth it in the end. So that's where we're going moving forward. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoy my content in general. Once again, thank you for supporting, and yeah, I will let you guys know what Resident Evil Separate Ways is like, what my thoughts are on it on Friday, or at least when I finish it. I don't know how long it is. I haven't actually read how long it is, but it won't be that long. But yeah, I'll give you guys my thoughts, my opinions, a little review on that on Friday. So have a good rest of your week, and until next time, I've been System Check 66, and I'm signing out. Peace.